Hello guys, welcome in and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are completely new, hello, I am sincerely Niko. In today's video, we're going to be doing my end of the year foundation review for my combination and oily skin. I try to do this each and every year here on YouTube so I can kind of help you guys guide and streamline to the perfect foundation for you. So if this is something that you definitely need to hear and watch, please continue to do so. If you are on the more normal to dry prone skin, I do apologize. This video is definitely not for you, but if you like to watch and support for me, then that would be amazing as well too. But before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Join me here on YouTube. Be a part of the EXO squad because we are lit on this side of YouTube. We do crazy videos, but we are very informative. We are very helpful. We are a family, a community, and I want you guys to be a part so you guys don't miss out on amazing videos like this and great opportunities for me and you on my channel, of course, because this is a journey for both of us. So let's go ahead and get into this video. When I'm looking for foundations, I try to keep it very much minimalistic as far as what I really want. I have 5 key points that I try to hit when looking for foundations. And of course, I do have foundation that you guys sent in and asked me to do a review for, and I try to get to them as quick as possible, of course. So when I am personally looking for foundations, I have 5 key points that I try to hit and make sure that this foundation can definitely cover. If I'm unable to hit those 5, that is perfectly fine. 3 out of the 5 is okay. It's something that I will possibly go back to. But anything less than that, I try not to even waste my time and effort for. But nevertheless, this foundation review video is for combination oily skin. If you are more on the normal dry prone, I do apologize. Again, this video is not for you, but this will help you kind of guide towards your foundation as well too if you want to continue to watch this video. But nevertheless, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what I really look for in a foundation and go through this big old basket right over here on my side full of foundations, and we're going to just talk about them today. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. So the 5 points that I try to look for when it comes down to foundation is undertones. Now this can split into 2 different types of branches when it comes down to undertones. Undertones that flatter my complexion as well, which is my neutral yellow undertone. I know I look very warm, but that is all the studio lighting, of course, but I'm very much neutral yellow undertone, or I prefer to be more neutral yellow undertone, because when I go more towards the red end of the spectrum, I turn very orange. So I look for undertone that flatters my skin tone very well. Do they have a great range of undertone? Do that foundation company cater to my undertone? And then, of course, how large is the undertone for everyone? Do they have a large spectrum? Are they very much, you know, minimized to 13 shades? Like, stuff like that I look into. The second one is finish. I try to look for more of the natural mattes, soft mattes, demi mattes, or ultra matte foundations. I really kind of stay away from those natural radiant type of vibes because I am combination oily, so foundations tend to kind of break up and look extremely dewy on me. So finish is one of the major things that I definitely look for when it comes down to foundation. The next one might sound really crazy, but it's very important. I look for the friendliness in the foundation. And the reason why I say friendliness is because if I particularly use like this particular foundation, does it work well with another brand's powder, another brand's primer, another brand's concealer? Sometimes you have holy girls that you definitely love in each category when it comes down to completing a face, but sometimes you want to switch out and change out 1 or 2 things, and usually for me that's foundation, so I can be able to do foundation reviews for you guys on my YouTube channel. And I want to try to keep the products that I do purchase, my powders, my concealers, to a minimum of spending so much money on that. But foundations come out almost every 3 months. So I try to look for the friendliness in that foundation. The next one is long wear. Me being that I am combination oily, and when I do wear foundation or when I do glam, it's either I'm going to work, which I do work at a major makeup company. If you did not watch that video, it's right above in the eye on how to get hired at Sephora. I try to look the part. so that when I have female customers come up to me, they're like, oh, well, he's a man, he's not wearing makeup, he don't know how to do makeup. When I'm a man that wears makeup that looks like this, you're going to be attracted to what I do to get my face to look like this. So I try to fit the part, and I try to look for long wear when it comes down to wearing foundation. Last but not least, the last checkpoint that I look for is price and accessibility. And the reason why I put that on my list is because the price point, I am out of college. I'm not a college student, but yet I still have personal bills that I have to take care of that I've done in the past, i.e. student loans. So I don't have that much money to be shelling out $64 for a Giorgio Armani foundation. So I look at prices and things of that kind of caliber that is pocket or budget friendly. And then last but not least, I look for the accessibility of how I can get to that foundation. Do I have to order it? Etc. of that nature. How long is the shipping? How much is the shipping cost? And all the other stuff plays a beneficial factor on me purchasing or buying that foundation. So with those 5, undertone, finish, friendliness, long wear, price, and accessibility, that pretty much is the things that I look for when it comes down to foundation. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into my foundation end of the year review. The first foundation that I want to talk about is a Holy Grail. And the reason why it's a Holy Grail is because it's one of the foundations that I usually wear a lot here on YouTube, being that I'm in front of the camera and I want to look smooth and perfect for you guys, but I don't want to do too much work and blending. That product is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. I have it in the shade Y535, which is a neutral yellow undertone that has a slight little bit hint of red, but it's perfect for my complexion. This is one of my favorite. Overall, I would give this a 4 out of 5 on my checklist. The only reason why I say 4 out of 5 is because the finish is not what I definitely like. The long wear is okay depending on the circumstances. Undertone is amazing. Friendliness with other brands is awesome. And then the price accessibility is okay depending on the ounces you get. The next foundation that I want to talk about is drugstore. And I want to kind of switch it up real quick because I went high end. I'm going drugstore. And that receives a 5 out of 5 for me. And that is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. I have them in 2 shades, which is D70 and D90. Now, you're probably wondering why I have them in 2 shades and why this receives a 5 out of 5. The reason why I have them in 2 shades is because the undertone is amazing. I think they came out with 40 shades. And each undertone had 10 shades apiece. So there was something somewhere for you, whether it's a neutral base that you can darken up with the foundation or a really nice warm tone that literally fits you to the T. You could possibly find your foundation within that brand a little bit more easier than, let's say, the L'Oreal Pro Glow, Pro Matte, or what is it, the full coverage, total coverage foundation, which only has like 12 shades. For a drugstore to have 40 shades, CoverGirl's slate this year for that foundation. The finish on this is matte finish. I actually have this on right now, and I actually put this foundation on at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it is now 11 o'clock. So I had this foundation on for more than 12 hours, and it still looks amazing, period. That's why this receives a 5 out of 5, because it literally checks mark every point that I need for this foundation. If I run out, I can run to Walmart and grab another one without a problem. And I would not mind paying that $8.47 for another one because it's under 10 bucks. And then the reason why I have 2 is because the D70, this is what I'm wearing all over. It fits my skin to the T. I don't have to worry about if it's not the perfect undertone. Do I need to set it with a different powder? I can literally throw this on and run out the door. That's how good this is. And then I have D90. I love to do like a cream or a liquid contour sometimes. So D90 is the darkest shade, and I use that sometimes to sculpt the cheek to kind of get that natural high cheekbone without looking like I have on a bunch of products. So that's why I have these 2 shades. This is my second bottle. That should tell you how much I love it. I always go back to it. You should get it. Period. The next foundation that I want to talk about is a drugstore as well too. This is the Super Stay Foundation from Maybelline. I have it in the shade 360 and 362. This is 362 in my hand, which is the shade called Truffle. This foundation literally shook the world for just a little bit of a moment. I will say that this is a great 4 out of 5 foundation, and I'm going to explain why. The undertone on this is okay. I feel like they could have came out with more undertones. So the Maybelline Fit Me line has a lot of undertones, a lot of foundations, especially in the Prime and Poreless, or the Matte and Poreless one, the green one. There's a lot of undertones when it comes down to that particular formula. They should have treated this the same, because this is a great foundation. I literally say that this is the drugstore version of the NARS Natural Radiant Foundation, which is another great foundation I'm going to talk about later in this video. But as a drugstore foundation, this is amazing. The undertone, they could work on the undertone. They need to work on the undertone, of course. And while we're on the Super Stay Foundation, I have the Super Stay Foundation Stick. This gets a 3 out of 5. And the reason why is because undertone I need to fix on, that's a no. Finish is okay. I definitely love the finish of this foundation. It literally blends right on into the skin without a problem. The friendliness of this is also great as well too, to a certain extent. The sponge is a no. I haven't used the sponge since I bought it. It's a no. The long wear on this is also amazing as well too. The price and accessibility. The price is okay, but for the amount that you get for the price is a no. For 13 bucks and only getting 0.25 ounces, that's a quarter of a full ounce. That's a quarter of this foundation. A quarter. The next foundation that I want to talk about is the Beauty Bakery Foundation. This is the Cake Mix Foundation, and I have it in the shade number 7. This foundation is like Fenty's cousin. This is full coverage. She don't move, she don't shift, she don't budge, and she can also mess up if you got the wrong undertone real easy. I give this foundation a 3 out of 5, and the main reason why I give it a 3 out of 5 is because the undertones are amazing. I love the fact that Cashmere labeled them. The numbers go from smaller to largest, but it also go from dark to lightest. So your number 1 is your darkest shade, while like your number 20 is your lightest, like pale princess shade. So she reversed the numbers for the complexions. Instead of doing 1 being the lightest shade and 20 being the darkest, 1 is the darkest and 20 is the lightest. So she definitely put us as people of color forward in the beauty industry to definitely open up the doors to say that I'm not the last number, I'm actually the first number. The undertones, there's a lot of great undertones in this foundation. I love the fact that she had a shade matching area where you can kind of compare to some of the foundation that you currently wear, but it threw me off just a little bit. I picked up shade 7. This just turns a little bit too red on me, but it's supposed to be a neutral foundation, but it's more neutral warm, and it looks a little weird on me, but I still love it. I still wear it because what it is, and I mix in a yellow foundation to kind of balance it out better. The finish on this foundation is also amazing as well too. It is ultra matte. The next foundation that I want to definitely talk about a lot is the Can't Stop Won't Stop Foundation from NYX Cosmetics. This foundation also gets a 5 out of 5. Yeah, she gets a 5 out of 5. Period. Undertone. 40 plus shades. I think it was 44 shades. So there's an undertone, there's a foundation for almost everyone somewhere in this brand. If it doesn't really hit you to the T, you can be able to work something that is really close to your complexion without a problem. The finish of this, matte finish. It gives me like Fenty cousin, but full coverage, medium to full coverage real quickly. Friendliness of this is also amazing. You do have some time to kind of actually blend out things, so you don't have to rush to complete your complexion with this. The long one on this is amazing. She stays on the skin. She doesn't deteriorate. She doesn't separate. The price and accessibility of this is 15 bucks, under 15. So right at $15, you can probably get your $3.50 off at your local Ulta without a problem and still save some extra money. There are no codes that you can use unless you shop on NYX.com and then get like a percentage off. But at your Ulta, you can definitely use that monthly $3.50 off coupon to get her a lot more cheaper. And then the accessibility, you can get this at Ulta and at Target and Walmart. I think Walmart sells NYX now. But there's multiple places you can get NYX Cosmetics. So again, I give her a 5 out of 5. She checks the boxes completely for me. The next product I want to talk about, this brand stays in my pockets. It stays in your pocket. She always dropping something and everybody's always buying it and it sells out too quickly, and that is Fenty Beauty. I have the shades 450 and 470. 470 neutral, hella warm, too dark. This is the first foundation that I got from Fenty, and I did a review on it, and it went low-key viral. Don't want to toot my own horns, but that video got over like 40,000 views. I'm going to leave that up in the eye above if you want to check that video out so you don't miss out on what really happened in that video and why it went so crazy. But I got this as the first shade, and at that time I was okay with it because I'm coming off my summer tan, but as I progressed with this brand, this was too dark, so I went down to 450. It was okay. As I progressed with the brand, it was getting too dark, so now I sampled 430, and 430 fits me the best. If you want a reference of this shade 430 and what it looks like on someone, definitely check out my friend Neon MUA. He wears shade 430 and it looks bomb on him. I'm just not going to buy another foundation. This is already $68 out of my pockets, and it's only been a year with Fenty. Only been a year. The next foundation I want to talk about is also a high-end foundation as well. It is the Power Play from Cover FX. This also gets a 5 out of 5 from me. Undertone is amazing. I am in the neutral undertone. I have N110. I got this shade reference off of my girl Too Much Mouth. We're kind of almost always the same color when it comes down to complexion, so I always look at her for reference when it comes down to new foundation, because she can get them a lot more quicker than myself because she has a larger following, which is no shade, but I look at her when new releases come out because I can't get my hands onto it until it comes out. But Undertone is amazing. I love the finish of this. It's a ultra matte finish, long wears, transfer proof, sweat proof, humidity proof. It's just proof. It's boyfriend proof. It's fuckboy proof. You can't, your credit is good and nobody can get you proof. Like, it's proof. Friendliness of this foundation is also amazing as well too. The dry down on this is not as quick as Fenty, but it has some wiggle room, so you can blend this in without a problem. You don't have to do one side and then have to go do the other side really quickly. This definitely has some wiggle room. Long wear on this, she's 24 hours for me. I have pushed her before to get 24 hours and she still looks good. Price and accessibility, $44. Price is up there. Accessibility at all your Sephora's and now at Ulta as well too. So you have 2 different locations to pick from when it comes down to buying this foundation. So if you don't have a Sephora near you or Sephora and JCPenney's in your JCPenney area, you can run to your local Sephora and still get this foundation without a problem. The next foundation I want to talk about is the NARS Natural Radiant Foundation. This foundation is bizarre. I give her a 4 out of 5. And the reason why I give her a 4 out of 5 is because the undertone, there's a great shade range, but as far as for the deeper dark complexion, there's only like 5 or 6 shades. Not that amazing or perfect. I wish there were more undertones, but I can make New Caldona, and I also have Nimbia. Mixing those two gives me that perfect shade. So the 2 foundations I do have, because I have both of them, this is $100. This is a gas bill. This is car insurance right here in my hand. The finish on this is a natural demi matte finish. It just gives like skin-like finish, full coverage. Bay. I live. I prime matte, I set matte, she stay matte. Period. Friendliness on this is amazing. There are a great wiggle room time, so if you put her on, you still can do your shadows and don't have to stress out about if your concealer is going to blend in with the foundation later on down the line. There's a great amount of time to do what you need to do to get her to look right. Some honorable mentions. These are some new foundations that I'm working on trying out, but so far she's doing something. The Anastasia Stick Foundation, I literally just got into her this year, so she's kind of new to me. I'm still trying her out. I have it in the shade called Espresso and Truffle. The next one is Milk Makeup. I literally just got this at the end of November or mid of November. I don't really want to judge this too much on the scale, but so far the undertone is perfect. I have to give her an actual wear test, so be on the lookout for that. I am trying this one out. This is the Makeup Revolution Concealer Define Full Coverage, so I can't really give a grading scale on that. But alright guys, that pretty much completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my end of the year foundation review for oily combination skin. If you guys did, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Also, leave your recommendations for your foundations that you guys have been loving if you're in the same category as me, combination oily. Also, leave recommendations of foundations that you guys should think I should try out in 2019. I definitely want to do more foundation hunts videos. Please let me know. So without further ado, I'm going to end this video here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys. Bye.
Police trying to catch me with the shooters. Shoot out from the edge, you cannot fool us. I caught a felony and beat that shit the next week. I stack it tall, Lisa last week. All I wanna do is go out trapping with the shooters. Wrist game froze, you should see the way we do it. Sexy little bitch.